Hello Charmander! So apparently we're talking about dreams today, and I was gonna just stand here and ramble on about subconscious and the mind for 10 minutes, but I went to a Nerdfighter gathering on the weekend, so I pulled my camera out at some point and asked everyone about their dreams. So it started, I was sent on a quest by someone, I don't know who sent me on the quest, to find like the pieces of the Trivial Pursuit, like pie pieces. And to do this, I was given this giant floating mechanical fish. And it wasn't a submarine, it was floating, so I had to sit on the back of it. And yeah, and I don't remember, and then I went on this big journey and didn't find any of the pieces, but I remember going through this like giant cave which had holes in the roof, like underground lake, and had like flowers and big ginormous fish in the pond, and yeah, it was sort of an underground lake garden thing. And then the dream switched to I was sort of in another ginormous cave. This one didn't have holes in the roof, but it had this little river running down the middle of it, and these two ginormous robots. And they were sitting there having an argument, and then one said to the other, "You're not Mario," and punched the other one in the face with this ginormous fist. And then it switched again to I was like a soldier in a war zone, and there were big like oil drums and barbed wire fences, and that's where the dream ended.
Okay.
And that's my dream.
I had this recurring dream that I was forced to be on my hands, and I was supposed to walk up some big mountainy thing, but it had steps on the side. And then when I got to the top, there was this cave, and every time I had to get to the top, but every time a witch came out, and she was also upside down, so I was trying to run down on my hands, and then I would wake up at some point halfway down the mountain, and it was a recurring dream, so I had it so many times, but I never. Yeah, yep. That's the only one I really remember.
But there's one when I was like 6 or 5 or something. Dad was tucked into bed and he turned into a bear. That's nice. He's a total bear.
Awesome.
So there you have a bunch of dreams from people at the Adelaide Gathering. Only 3, but there weren't many people there when I remembered to pull my camera out. And now let's do a smooth transition into how to collab. No smooth transitioning is happening. I'm shit at transitioning. I don't really know how to collab either, but this is what I do when I'm making one of these RainbowBulbasaur videos. So the first thing I do, obviously, is watch your video that you have posted before this one, and as you do when you watch videos, you just think things pop into your head, and you either forget them, or leave them as a comment, or whatever. So instead of just forgetting the thoughts or leaving them as a comment or something, you talk about them in a video. You take those thoughts and you just ramble on, really. That's all. Yeah. For example, you googled how a lava lamp works in your last video on your phone, which is a perfectly ordinary thing to do. And for some reason, while I was watching your video, I thought, you just googled from your phone. Like, a phone is really not very big. I can hide it behind my hand. Like, this tiny thing, you can store gigabytes of data in it, you can take photos, you can play games on it, you can organize your life, you can talk to people across the other side of the world. You can do, like, so many things on a thing it's like as big as a pack of cards. The amount of computing power on one of these phones is probably greater than the computing power in, like, a standard computer in, like, the year 2000. That's like an entire big box thing. And now you're at this, which couldn't really be any more than about 40 cubic centimeters. And that's just a little bit mind-boggling, really. It's just, ugh, how much stuff you can store in your phone. So there, you can see I just took a small bit of something from your video, the fact that you googled something on a phone. And I talked about it, I shared my views on phones and etc. And that's about as much as I can tell you about how to collab. Next bit, questions, I think. Yes, questions. I'm not really good at questions. on my old collab channel, which disappeared one day, we had a question every week, and we'd ask a question and everyone would answer it. And that lasted a couple of weeks before we ran out of interesting questions to ask. So I'm probably, unless I specifically want to know something, ask you a question interesting, I'm probably not going to be asking questions. You can continue asking questions if you want, but I'm probably not going to. So there is le video. Farewell to you, Charmander. I await your response.